Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Locker Room Media. If you're coming from TikTok, Twitter, or Instagram, thank you for joining in as this is our podcast. And if you're just joining in on the podcast, make sure you can go to TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter for more recent news and breaking news. My name's Lucas, and my three co-hosts, the other one is not going to be able to be here tonight. You guys can introduce yourselves.
I'm Josh. I'm going to be the one recording all this and posting on YouTube. I'm pretty much the YouTube manager.
Hi, I'm Brendan.
Brendan doesn't do anything around here. He just kind of sits there.
And I'm Gavin, and thank you for Josh for posting everything on YouTube for us.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely nothing right now, but Gavin's our baseball guy.
Yeah, I know a bit about baseball, but our other co-host, Luke, is not going to be able to be here tonight, but he will be in future podcast episodes. So tonight we're going to start with the main topic is the Texans dumpster fire. So first off, we're going to start about how Hopkins and J.J. Watt have both been, I guess, traded and signed for a free agent onto the Arizona Cardinals. How do you guys think that he's going to develop? You want to start it off, Gavin?
Absolutely. J.J. Watt, I feel like will be an absolute unit on the Cardinals' defensive line with Chandler Jones. If Hassan Riddick stays and actually signs in free agency with the Cardinals, if he doesn't leave, which I don't think he will, but that's what a lot of people are saying. He would just be the correct replacement. But I think he'll be absolutely great with Hopkins, as I've seen in a ton of Instagram posts over the past few days. Follow us on Instagram, Locker Room Media.
Oh, yeah. Plug it.
But I think they'll be an absolute great together. They have a lot of chemistry there. I just think it'll be a good all-around. But I don't think they'll finish in first place in the NFC West, but I do think they'll get a wild card spot.
What position do you think of the NFC West they're going to finish?
Second, right behind. If Russell Wilson actually stays in Seattle, I think they'll finish Brandon.
All right. Josh, what's your thought about this?
I think that between Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt, it's going to be very hard to get out of the edge, and teams are going to either have to run up the middle or just get the ball out as fast as possible. I actually see them finish in second behind the Rams because I don't see Russell Wilson staying in the Seahawks this year. I see him leaving and the Seahawks dropping to either third or fourth. The Rams, though, this year are going to be a tough team to beat with Stafford and all their offensive threats that they have. But it'll be a close one. I can see them either losing by one game or tying and just not having the tiebreaker to have it. But I think they make wild card, give it a good run, semifinals of the Super Bowl, and I honestly see them possibly trading Kyler Murray for Deshaun Watson.
Oh, wouldn't that be something? The three duos back in Arizona. Just going to Arizona.
I can see them getting Deshaun Watson for minimum.
No offense to
I can see that too.
Down you, but I have zero faith that's going to happen.
I mean,
it would be cool if it did, though. It would be cool if it did.
It would be
that trio with their offensive line, plus they're getting rid of Kyler. I honestly can see them getting the tight end too and just making a decent run.
Yo, for sure. Okay, so not last but not least, Brendan, what's your thoughts on the situation? How do you think the Cardinals are going to pan out this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt are going to be really good together. I actually think they're going to finish third in the NFC West behind the Seahawks and the Rams. The Rams are going to finish first, I think. And
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Personally, my opinion, like you guys said, Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt are going to be freaks of nature coming off the edge, and especially if Hassan Reddick signs back and could be that edge rushing linebacker who can also be in the pass coverage. It's going to be very, very dangerous defense to watch out for, especially if they still have Pat Pete and Isaiah Simmons too. You have to take an account for him playing safety and outside linebacker. It's definitely going to be a very, very good defense in the future. I think that honestly they can finish anywhere from first to fourth because this division is proven from time, like last year from time, that it can be the best division in NFL history. You have the Niners coming back from all the injuries that they had as their defense absolutely took a humongous hit. Seattle, if Russell Wilson does not go, is obviously that's always put in the picture as a dangerous team. The Rams with Stafford and their wide receivers, that's going to be absolutely insane. If somehow they can get Marvin Jones or something like that, it's going to be even better. And then, like you said, the Cardinals with their offense and their defense, it's definitely going to be something to watch out for. All right, so we're going to go to the second subtopic, and it is where Deshaun Watson will land and how that team will be able to pan out. So I started with Gavin last time. Let's start off with Brendan. Where do you think Deshaun Watson's going to go? What do you think the team's going to have to give up? And what do you think they're going to – how do you think they're going to pan out?
I think I could see him going to a team like the Jets or I really haven't thought about the Jets, to be honest. But I think they could offer him like Sam Darnold and maybe a couple picks. I don't know. I haven't given much thought, but
See, I have to disagree with you there. I think the Jets are gonna take Trevor Lawrence if he doesn't go to the Jaguars, but he might. But I can still see the Jets drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
Either him or
all right.
BYU. That'd be my guess if they do stick with the draft pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Josh, your turn now. Just kind of talk about where you think he's going to go.
I see him going to the Patriots.
Okay. I've not heard that ever. I've never heard that.
I think the Patriots are going to end up trading Newton and Edelman to get Watson, mainly because as good as Edelman still is, he's coming to the end of his prime, and Cam Newton proved it this year. Well,
how many draft picks do you see up in that situation, though?
I see 1 second rounder.
That's
1 second rounder with Julian Edelman and Cam Newton for a sign-in trade. Wow.
He's gonna be a free agent. I don't know. That's interesting.
Because I think Watson's already said it himself. He's not going to play this year if he's on the Texans, and which means I think the Texans are going to. And he's a great player, and I see Bill Belichick as a smart person. He's going to be able to give him Cam Newton, Edelman, or maybe even their second-string receiver and a second-round pick. And the Texans' trade history does not make me have faith that they're not going to accept that.
Well, I could definitely see that. But the thing is, honestly, in that trade, I can see the Texans going after Stephon Gilmore in that trade. Like, let's say you want to give us Edelman, Stephon Gilmore, 2 seconds, and then maybe like a future 4th. I can for sure see something like that come out.
I can see that, but at the same time, like I said, the Texans haven't had the smartest trades, and they're still going to need – Cam Newton's not a horrible quarterback, but I still see them going for Cam Newton, Edelman, or Gilmore, and then taking either 1 or 2 second-round or third-round picks.
All right. Gavin, what's your thought about this?
I think he goes home to Carolina, and I think he goes to the Panthers, to be honest, in my opinion. I think they give Derek Brown, I think his name was, the D tackle that they picked last year, who I thought the Lions should have taken at 3. Obviously, my prediction still might turn out true because Jeff Okudah has absolutely stunk it up.
Well, you have to think about Jeff Okudah, and how he did get injured, but that's for a totally different episode.
Yeah, that's a totally different story here. I think they give up two more firsts upon this year's first, so 3 firsts, Derek Brown and Teddy Bridgewater for Deshaun Watson.
All right, I can definitely see something like that panning out.
Can I say something?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I just thought of something else, somewhere else you can go to. I think the 49ers I think the 49ers are going to be pretty good this season. And I think they offer him like Jimmy G and like Nick Bosa and a couple of picks for Deshaun Watson.
Whoa.
Okay, see, my pick was going to be the Niners. My pick was going to be the Niners, but the Niners cannot give up Bosa.
Yeah, they're not.
He is the center point of that defense.
Yeah,
that is the last thing on the board.
For Deshaun Watson.
So my opinion, since my team was the 49ers, I think that the Niners can at least give up 3 first-round picks. That's the absolute minimum that you can give away for Deshaun Watson. But I totally agree with Josh on how the Texans in the past history have not been good with trades.
I see every team lowballing the Texans, and the Texans not realizing that they're going to lowball and accept it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But then again, you have to take into consideration that there's new management in the Texans.
Well,
of course, like you said in the past.
It's new management. They're not 100%. It's new management is always a tricky, especially when your star player wants out.
Oh, for sure. Okay. And then, like I was saying, the Niners, I think that's going to be a perfect spot for them as they have the young receiver in Brandon Ayuk. And in this offseason, I'm pretty sure the Niners have a bit of cap space. They can go out and sign somebody like maybe even Allen Robinson or trade for a good wide receiver or even take one in the first round this year because there's a lot of them. A lot of great wide receivers in the first round. I could for sure see him going to the Niners.
Upon Josh's point there with trade history, if you remember a couple years back, they did trade Kenny Stills. They got Kenny Stills in return for that first-round pick in 2021, which ends up being the 3rd overall pick. So they practically got scammed in that trade. But
yeah,
Oh, for sure. The Dolphins are going to absolutely go crazy with that pick. I mean, at that point, they can trade it for another superstar around Tua.
Yeah, Dolphins are going to be championship contenders next season. I can see it.
But they could
Yeah,
trade
for sure. And if you got
picks and Tua to get Deshaun Watson. They could give him back their own pick and get a lot more out of it than they gave up.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then I think everybody said this as well. If you have Deshaun Watson on the team, you're instantly better than you were without him. I honestly think he's a top 3 quarterback.
I give him top 10.
Top 10. He's the top 3 quarterback.
He's
a top 3 quarterback.
If he was a top 10 quarterback, I would give him up for 3 draft picks any time of the day. Like if he's top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
At least top 5.
I'm telling you right now, he's either a top 3 or a top 5 pick. I can see him going from 3 and 4, especially with anybody's opinion. I think it's Mahomes, Rodgers, and then Allen and Watson splitting the 3 and the 5.
I personally put him at 6.
6.
I've got Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time.
Tom Brady as well.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and then Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Wilson are like tie, but the age is the big factor. I think Watson's about like 5 years younger than him, so.
I still they're both in sticky situations. Depending on how they both do this year, depending on if they get traded into a better situation, we'll definitely rearrange it. But I cannot see him putting him any higher than 6 or 7.
All right, I can see that. So like I said, with this and how they're going to play out, Brendan, you picked the Jets. Patriots was Josh, and then the Panthers was Gavin. We'll start off with Josh with the situation. What record do you think they're going to end up in the upcoming years? What do you think they'll be able to do with Watson?
I honestly don't think they're going to do anything special. I see them being in the same spot the Lions are in right now for the next 3 years. They have the chance to be okay, but I don't see them winning more than 5 games a season. And they're at the point the Lions, like I said, the Lions were 2-3 years ago. Not necessarily then, because the Lions were actually a 9-win team, but I see them at the point where they're rebuilding, and they're not going to beat the Titans for at least a decade, I can see, but they're going to just try to get the draft picks that they need. I don't see them winning more than 5 games in the next 5 seasons. I see them as a 5-11 team, 4-12 team every year, taking 4th in their division, unless the Jaguars keep up what they're doing. But with Trevor Lawrence, I don't see them doing that. And I see them going through 2 or 3 new head coaches. I think they're going to turn into the Browns, to be honest with you.
Oh, like the old Browns?
The old Browns.
Like how they're switching coaches and
the quarterback killer.
All right, so Gavin, you're next on this topic. What do you think it's going to pan out to?
They will do that completely opposite. He said 5-11. I think they go 11-5 under Matt Rule. I think he just had a tough season last year. Obviously, he drafted only defensive players in the draft. That probably didn't help his offense too much because there was no offense. But I think they go 11-5 with Watson, and they get into the wild card game because I don't think anyone's taking down the Bucs. I said they were going to go 16-0 last year. I'll say they're going to go 16-0 again. You can't stop that D line at their full potential. And
especially with Chase Young just getting better and better, that team's going to be unstoppable. Oh, you said the Bucs. Hold on, I thought you said
Yeah, he said the Bucs. No, I can for sure agree on that. It's just with the Bucs situation too, is that they could be losing a lot of defensive pieces this offseason. I've heard way too many rumors of how Ndamukong Suh is going to be leaving, as he was a vocal point in that defense, and same thing as Levante David.
JPP might be retiring. I heard some rumors.
He's gonna play till he has 5.
What about Shaquille Barrett? He's in your free agent.
Yep, Shaq Barrett's a free agent too, and I've heard rumors that he's going to go to a different team.
He's going to resign though. You don't leave your Super Bowl championship team, especially when you're one of the leading tacklers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess. All right, Brendan, how do you think the Jets are going to do with Deshaun Watson and their situation?
Well, now that I think about it, I can see him more likely going to the Niners instead of the Jets, to be honest.
All right.
If he does end up going to the Niners, I can see them going anywhere from 10-6 to probably 12-4 ish. Maybe 11-5, but
All right, I can for sure see that. Personally, since I picked the Niners, I still think they need to get a bit more receiver help, and obviously George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk are going to turn out. Well, George Kittle already turned out to be arguably the greatest tight end in the league at the moment, and then Brandon Ayuk, I think he's going to have a blowout season this year and absolutely kill it. And then you obviously have to add the factor of Raheem Mostert at the running back. But like I said, if they can get a bit more receiver help in the upcoming years, I can see them finishing anywhere from 8-8 to 15-1. It's just a matter of how good that division is going to be in the future. And like I said earlier in the podcast, that division is just so dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You got the Rams, Seattle, and the Cardinals, and with all the offseason moves that everyone's made, it's just going to be hard to win that division. All right, so what do you guys think the Texans' future is going to be like? So now we're switching, flipping the script here. We're going back to the Texans. What do you think they're going to be like in the future, especially with all these picks coming in and maybe young assets to the team? We'll start off with Gavin again.
Oh, we just talked over that? I swear that's
we were just talking. No, we were just talking about our teams of how good they were going to do.
That is not the question you asked me.
Yes, we all talked about the teams.
I did it. I talked about the Texans.
All right, you talked about the Texans. You want to know what? Just ramble off of how you think the Patriots are going to do with Watson.
No, I'll talk about the Texans as it is. I'm just looking at their stats right now, and they had 44 touchdowns on the season, and Deshaun Watson got sacked 50 times, at least, for the year. Their field goal kicking was awful. They were like 25 for 31.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. Their third down conversions, 83 for 193.
Wow.
They had a -9 turnover ratio.
And how plus was their turnover ratio against the Lions on Thanksgiving? It was probably about +4. So
yes, but
hey, don't hate on the Lions, man. I know we suck. Just don't hate on them, all right?
A -9 turnover ratio is not good.
No, not good at all.
They had an average possession time of 27 minutes a game.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's not bad, but
no, it's almost half a game. You know.
Yeah, their rushing yards, their total rushing yards is 1,000 less than their defense level. They had 1,500 rushing yards on offense, 2,500 on their defense let up.
And the sad thing about that is they made a huge trade in the offseason, as everyone knows now. DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson, who played running back all season, and it was horrid.
But
no, yeah,
their receiving yards, that's where their yards and touchdowns came in, because they had almost 5,000 receiving yards, passing yards, but it was not good. They had over 200. He threw 7 interceptions, averaged 8.9 yards per throw he had, and went 383 for 546.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
That's
Deshaun Watson for you. That's Deshaun Watson for you. You know what I'm saying?
Your quarterback performing on this probably could be called one of the worst teams in the NFL. He's getting
one of the worst teams. One of the worst teams.
He's not.
If I'm being honest, they are the worst team in the NFL.
No.
The thing is in my opinion, record does not matter. Okay, it does at some point, but it doesn't matter in this situation. If you took Deshaun Watson out of that situation last year, how many games did they win?
I don't know, but they still got pothead Laremy Tunsil.
0. I'm telling you right now, 0.
I see them
0.
at least.
They don't win a single game. They don't win a single game without Watson.
I still see them beating the one. I still see them beating the one.
And I will say that with 100% confidence. They don't win a single game without Watson.
I don't know. It'll be close.
That secondary was atrocious last year. Atrocious.
Yes, but
that's coming from a Lions fan. And I know what bad secondary is, okay?
Have you seen the Jets secondary, though? That is horrible. They had so many blown games where Sam Darnold – the Jets are the same way. You take Sam Darnold out of the thing, they win 0. They won, 1 this year?
I think it was 2. Was it? Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3.
They won 2. Because
I think it was 3.
Because I know they beat the Rams. Who else did they beat? Hold on.
The Dolphins, I think. Didn't they beat the Dolphins?
I got it. I'm looking.
Okay.
I think they beat the Dolphins.
They had
schedule.
They had 2. They had
2 wins.
They beat the Raiders.
The Rams and Cleveland.
Rams and the Browns.
On that horrible play.
Yes, they lost
they
to the
beat the
Raiders on
Raiders?
the left. No, they lost to the.
Oh
they,
no, that was that made a horrible. Yeah, and then that guy got fired. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yep.
beat the Rams and the Browns
But yeah,
in almost every single game. As I'm looking, besides, I think it was 3 games. Sam Darnold did not throw over 150 yards.
But do you even know the names of his wide receivers besides Robbie Anderson? No, you don't.
No,
I mean,
and
Robbie Anderson's on the Panthers too. He's not even on the Jets anymore.
No,
I don't know. I don't know. No,
His
I know one. Rashad Perryman. I'm pretty
His
sure
starting running back is close enough to be my dad's dad. Frank Gore.
I mean, yeah, and then you also have to look at it. Personally, I think the Jets had a plan from day one. Why would you keep such a bad coach of Adam Gase?
What?
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
on a call with my friends. Just if you want to pick Polar Rockets. No. Why? I don't think the Jets have a plan. Yeah, I don't think the Jets have a plan.
I think the Jets had a plan last year just because of why would you keep Adam Gase the coaching spot? You seen what he was doing in the last couple games of the year. Like, come on, you look at this. They get blown out by Miami 20-3. They lose a last-minute game to Las Vegas. They lose against the Chargers, and then they get absolutely murdered against Seattle 40-3. And then they somehow pull out two wins, and it looks to be not Rashad Perriman. I think Rashad Perriman's on the team too, and then Jamison Crowder. I know he's on the team, and I think Denzel Mims as well.
He was tied for the 50th.
I mean, those are some
receptions on the team. He has his average reception, his yards per reception is 71st in the league. There are 70 receivers, and Jameis Crowder's what? They're one or two. Yeah. 70 receivers.
I think Rashad Perriman is actually the one this year, if I'm being completely honest.
Let me go back. Let me look at this. Jameis Crowder led the team, had the most receiving yards per game. Perryman was up there, but Perryman, he was the 5th in average, but he was 86 in yards. He was 86 in total yards. Yeah. He only had 3 touchdowns this game.
Not good at all.
Tied for 149th in receptions. That's Sam Darnold deserves a better team too.
Oh, yeah, I can for sure agree with that.
Oh,
like I said, the Jets, and also talking like that is totally different topic for a totally different episode of the podcast. But what were you saying, Brendan?
They also have Denzel Mims. He had a pretty good year.
I mean, he had a solid year.
0 touchdowns, 23 receptions.
Well,
still, how many yards did he have?
357.
I mean, that's solid for the Jets. That's solid for the Jets.
That's tied 150th.
Okay, well, so back to talking about the Texans. Personally, with how many picks they're going to be getting from this Deshaun Watson trade, and I'm not saying it's going to make an immediate impact because, like I said, they're the dumpster fire. That's the title of this podcast. They're the dumpster fire of the NFL. I personally don't think they'll be at least decent or even average for the next 15 years. I don't know how they can put themselves in such –
That's bold. Dude, that's bold.
Who are they going to get at quarterback?
Cam Newton, I'm telling you.
They're going to get picks, and they're probably going to get a quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to get picks. After this year, yes, there's some solid quarterbacks in next year's draft. And the year after that, I mean, yeah, there's some – but you're not going to get like a great quarterback class until what, 2025, 2026?
I still honestly see them taking Ian Book next year, depending on if Ian Book returns for another season.
I mean, yeah, and then you also have to look in the free agency. Wouldn't this be something? The Texans go out and sign Dak Prescott and just go absolutely plummet in cap.
I don't see Dak leaving the Texans.
Dak wouldn't want. That's the thing.
No QB wants to go there, which they're gonna have to draft. Which I can either see them drafting Justin Fields this year, or wait until next year drafting.
What pick though? What do they have to get up to get a first round pick though? That's the question.
I think. Well, it depends on how early they trade Watson. Because they trade Watson before the draft, they can get 2 first-round picks. Depending on how good they are.
Let's say they move. Let's say they move Watson to Miami, and they get their first two first-round picks, and then pick up 2 at that. You're getting your young quarterback, and even at that point, you're getting two other picks. Pick 3 and what? Did the Dolphins have like pick 24? I think it was.
And then 27, I think. I'll look right now, but pretty sure.
I got it.
Still, you're getting that many
Picks.
picks, and you're still getting a young quarterback into it. It's for sure just – I think it's not going to make an immediate impact, but in the future, that is definitely going to be something that you got to look out for.
I don't know if Tua's going to pan out, though, like he was supposed to.
I don't think Tua is as good as people make him to sound to be. He's a good quarterback, and you cannot rule him out for his rookie season, but he's not as good as people think. I'm telling you right now, Mac Jones will be a better quarterback than Tua.
So they have the 12 from San Francisco. The 8 – wait, this might be 2020.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
So they've got –
San Francisco's got their first-round pick.
Yeah.
yeah.
So they got 3.
So they
3,
got
I think it's 24 and 27.
I see
No,
12
they got
and 18.
18. 3
Yeah, they have 12 and 3, 12, 18.
3, 12, 18. All right.
They're projected to take Devontae Smith and linebacker. Jeremiah
All right.
Kamana from Notre Dame.
I think the Lions should pick him up, trade him back, and pick him up. But
The
yeah.
linebacker?
So we're gonna to Notre Dame. All right. So we're getting pretty close to the end of the podcast. But what I personally thought would be something cool about the podcast, and I've also seen other podcasts do this too, is the GOAT of a certain number in just any sport as well. So we're going to be doing, since it's our first ever podcast, we're going to be doing the GOAT of number 1. So here are your guys' options. I'm going to first state my opinion on who I think it is, and then we'll just kind of go around like clockwork. So the first couple guys that we're going to be doing on the podcast is Warren Moon, Tracy McGrady, Chris Bosch, Oscar Robertson, Cam Newton, and Derrick Rose. Personally, I think it's Warren Moon just because of the legacy that he had. He's the first ever African-American quarterback to ever play in the NFL, and he is the only player in sports history to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame and the Canadian Football League Hall of Fame, which he played for the Houston Oilers, and I think I don't know what the Canadian team was, but I know it started with a That's personally my opinion. I think it's Warren Moon. Josh, out of those players, who do you think
I've got Oscar
the
Robertson.
best to ever play number? Okay.
Oscar Robertson. Okay. He's averaging 25 points a game, just under 10 assists a game, and 7.5 rebounds. It's almost a triple-double for the 13 years he played. He was the MVP at least once. He won a championship. 12 out of 13 years in the NBA All-Star. Only year he missed it was his rookie year. He made the NBA All-Star team, the first team, 9 times, and he won Rookie of the Year. I honestly don't see someone who averaged almost a triple-double for playing 13 years being anywhere other than my number 1. That is, I don't care what era you play, a triple-double for almost 13 years is insanely hard to do. And when Russ did it, he won his MVP.
Yeah.
All right. I can definitely agree with that. Gavin, who do you think's the best player to
I agree
win for
with Warren Moon. He did
All
play
right.
for the Edmonton Eskimos. Weird name.
Okay, yes.
The
I knew it
Eskimos.
started with an E.
He's probably the greatest Canadian football player of all time, besides a couple kickers here and there, but they're kickers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's all you need to say about that. They're kickers.
That's really it. He was first African-American quarterback, which is kind of hard. It's kind of like the Jackie Robinson of NFL. So
Yeah,
everyone
for
knows
sure.
who Jackie Robinson is.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Brendan, you want to round us up?
Yeah, I agree with Josh. I think it's Oscar Robertson. He was the Magic Johnson before Magic Johnson, I think.
All right.
He played before Magic Johnson, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He played in 61.
Yeah.
Did he
I
play
forgot
before
this,
Magic Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
but,
I mean, everybody on this number 1 list is for sure, great. They're some of the greatest of all time. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Yeah.
Oscar Robertson,
I
no
could-
doubt.
I could say some of the greatest of all time besides Cam Newton. I honestly just
Yeah, Cam Newton, I don't know, man. But,
Well,
No,
I mean,
you know
the
what
rest of us.
I don't think Derrick Rose is really in the conversation either.
I mean, you could put Michael Vick before Cam Newton, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
Even
those
Ty-
are just-
Even Zion before Cam Newton. I understand he's only in his second season.
No, I wouldn't go. No,
I wouldn't
definitely
go
not.
that far.
I wouldn't go that far.
Cam
Newton's
Newton's 2016 year was outstanding, and I don't think
And he
Zion will
hasn't
ever have a
been
year like that.
Watson.
What?
Yeah.
I don't see Zion ever having a year like Cam Newton's 2016 season.
No, that
Yeah.
Panthers team was unstoppable.
They were
Just the
15-1
Broncos
this
obviously
season.
showed up with a
You
defense.
just you
Yeah, they
just
were
have the
15-1.
best quarterback of probably one of the second best quarterback of all time. Second or third best quarterback of all time. It's hard to beat in the Super Bowl. Peyton is just
I mean, he really didn't even have that good of a game. He didn't have that good of
Yeah.
a season that year.
no, but you
It
also
was
have to
just the defense that showed up.
think Von Miller tore it up.
Oh yeah, Von Miller especially scored up.
Yeah.
All right. Any finishing comments on any of the topics that we got today, or subtopics? Anything?
I think
Oh
it's
yeah, I
just
was
going
gonna
to be.
say. You said George Kittle was better than Travis Kelce earlier.
Yeah,
I
that
do
is.
not.
I
that,
did.
I do not agree.
I do not agree
You
with
did.
that at all.
You said he was arguably the best, and I will argue that
No.
all
not
night
at
long.
all.
I personally think Kittle makes a bigger impact on the Niners than Kelsey would.
I
It's
think-
because of his speed and his catching ability.
I think
He
Kittle
is the main target on that team.
Kittle makes a bigger impact on his team because his team doesn't have the weapons that the Chiefs have.
That's exactly why I'm putting Kittle above Kelsey.
See, I don't
is
see
that
that.
he just makes such a. It's so close down to the wire. You can put Kittle is a better blocker, Kelsey's a better pass catcher, Kittle's faster. You can do that all day, but one of the main topics that you have to put both of them at is Kittle makes a bigger impact. If you're
Kittle
telling me that
Kittle is like Deshaun Watson.
I mean, though he didn't.
He's not
yeah.
the best in his league at his position, but he
one
helps
of the
enough.
best,
He's one of the best in this league at the position, and he makes that big of an impact. But if you put him on another team, that team is going to excel more than they already have. And I think Kelsey is part of the reason on why the Chiefs have their Super Bowl ring and have their Super Bowl run that they had last year.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners, they didn't have that good of a season, but Kittle was out like half the season. If you think Kittle played the whole season, what do you
half
guys
the
think?
team was out. Half
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
team was out the whole season.
Week 2 and
Okay.
3. New York Turf, week 2 and 3. It's killed them all.
ACL.
Yeah. I still think Kittle's a better tight end. I think it goes Kittle, Kelsey, and then Hawkinson. But Darren Waller and Hawkinson can switch positions all the time you want. And same thing with Kittle and Kelsey. But yeah, anybody else got any other things that y'all want to talk about?
I think that's good.
I think that's it. So this is us rounding up our first podcast, first episode. Great to do it, and I'm happy that we're going to continue this and just try to put out as many episodes as we can. Our goal is probably to put out one every single week, and we're just going to be talking about random topics, hot takes, news, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, it was great talking sports with you three.
All right.
You too, Lucas. Good talking sports with you.
Yeah, good talking. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. It means the world to all of us, and it means the world to Luke, even though he's not here. Make sure you guys go follow the social medias, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, where you can go just look at more breaking news and instant news, because obviously we can't push out a podcast every single night or every single minute of us talking about something. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good day.